I rolled over in bed and saw my husband having a Snapchat conversation with our good friend, where she said she wished she could hold him and he mocked me for trying to seduce him, and when I confronted him he admitted to the affair but said he doesn't want to work things out. Posted by you/Ohwhoaeskimo. I, 30F, caught my husband, 31M, in an affair, and I don't know how to move on. I've suspected things had been going on for a while, but kept brushing it off. I thought he would never do that to me. Since around April, he's been refusing my attempts to have smash most of the time, sitting differently on the couch to where he's facing away from me, little things. It's with one of our good friends. She came to my house a few weeks ago. She's texted me. She's pretended to be there for me. I found out because I rolled over and they were having a Snapchat conversation. She said she wished she could be there to hold him, and he summarized that I tried to seduce him last night and mocked it. I confronted him and he admitted it. He said that it was because quarantine was stressful. He does not want to work things out. He thinks of me only as a friend in his heart. When I told her husband, he confronted her, and apparently they actually kissed back in February. I think at that moment, I was never going to be enough for him. We used to be so happy. The week before they kissed, we celebrated Valentine's Day together. He bought us a nice bottle of wine for our anniversary. We had fun. We were perfect. I don't know where to go from here. We've been married only about a year. I feel like he took so much from me and doesn't even want to go to therapy or work this out. I don't want to leave my house, but everywhere in it I see him. He chose her. I've been cheated on in every relationship I've ever been in. He was supposed to be my forever. I don't know what to do. I've made therapy appointments, but I was also laid off last month, so I have too much free time to analyze every single moment where he might have been lying to me or where I made myself pathetic trying to cling to him. How do I start to get through this? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, this makes me so happy. Good for you, Op. You rock. Op's response, thank you. I forgot to mention above, but I also got a new job offer and am happily busy with fulfilling work again as well. Commenter 2, I'm going through a breakup that has left me feeling lost and broken. This gives me so much hope for the future. Tomorrow morning my journey begins as I go talk to a therapist for the first time and begin the road to recovery. Thank you for being so strong and sharing your story so others may find their strength through you. You're amazing. Op's response, so many people told me things would get better, but honestly, I didn't believe it until I started feeling it myself. Just keep putting that faith in yourself and remember you're so much stronger than you think. You've already done the biggest step, signing up for therapy. Update 1, 5 months later. First of all, I just want to thank everyone here for the support I received following my first post back in August. At the time, it truly felt like my world was ending. It was important to me to make this update because I need to tell anyone who's currently going through the same thing, it gets better. You will get so much better. I had one conversation with my husband since everything happened by his choice. It lasted maybe 5 minutes and was like talking to a robot. I know from others that he cries to people about how he ruined his life, but I have never once gotten an apology or the same show of regret. At this point, I don't care. I know him and the other woman are still seeing each other, and frankly, they deserve each other. Good for them. While I still feel angry occasionally, I no longer mourn what I once had. Instead, I'm so excited for the life I now get to live. I moved to a small walkable city and gave myself my dream apartment. It makes me so happy to see how I've decorated it and to just live in a cozy place instead of our old dreary house. I was the breadwinner in our marriage, and he would make me feel awful about wanting to pay for nice meals or do fun things. Since moving here, I've done a ton of foodie fun stuff and don't feel guilty. It's so refreshing. I have dipped my toe into the dating pool again and had plenty of mediocre dates from dating apps. Recently, I found someone who I've really clicked with and am enjoying how appreciated and desired he's made me feel. It's definitely early and we're moving slow, but overall, dating has made me realize that I'm a catch who doesn't have to settle. Therapy has done wonders, and I'm so happy I immediately dove into it. My therapist is proud of me. I'm proud of me. I've stopped looking at being divorced as a failure. He failed, not me. I'm genuinely happy and excited to wake up each morning and no longer feel like this terrible weight is sitting on my chest. The holidays were surprisingly easy, and I found myself so happy to spend time with my family without having to compromise anything. So all in all, life is good and there's so much of it ahead. Looking back, I can't believe I wasted so much time thinking about how I could get him to come home. I've made my own home and my own happiness, and that is worth so much more. Update 2, over 5 years later. Wow. I can't believe this happened over 5 years ago now. In some ways, it feels like it happened to me in a different life. I still get messages asking about this and figured I could add some insight into how life can look a few years down the line after everything gets completely and utterly wrecked. Good news, if you put in the work, it looks pretty freaking great. First of all, where's my ex-husband now? I haven't had contact with him since September of 2020 and largely don't keep track of things, but I can see that this man still follows me on Instagram and watches all of my stories. I considered blocking him, but just let it be. I think it's the petty part of me who's living a full life that's fine with rubbing it in a bit. He and the affair partner did get married after a whoopsie kid, and I'm pretty sure they had another. But they also both lost their jobs as teachers. He got her a job at his school, so she was working with an entire staff, knew they had an affair, and had to move to the middle of nowhere. Last I heard of them, the affair partner had been texting his former best friend unhinged rants about not including them in get-togethers or allowing my ex-husband to be a groomsman in his wedding. But enough about them, because they already took up way too many pages in my story. When we last left off, I think I had just moved to a new city, shout out to Richmond, Virginia, and was largely just finding myself again. I think the change of scenery was the best thing that I did for myself. I was never meant to live in the suburbs, and moving to a beautiful little city where I can walk to coffee shops, bakeries and bookstores honestly helped my mental health as much as the therapy. I bought a house here a couple years ago and have really settled in. Then I got my puppy, a corgi named Bilbo Baggins, who really is the true love of my life. He is the greatest thing to happen to me and is just such a fantastic chunky guy. We go to a local dog park with a bar all the time, and he even has his own little dog social group. Kids aren't something I plan on, so he is basically my son. It hasn't all been perfect. My dad passed, my best friend moved across the country, and I largely haven't really been dating much the past couple of years. Dating hasn't been a huge priority for me, and my friends say that I'm probably too picky. I say that I know what it's like to be in a marriage with someone who might love you but doesn't like you, and it's worth not settling. But while I may be single, I am fulfilled and busy. My birthday is Saturday, and I'll be spending it in Paris at a Lady Gaga concert. I saw Sabrina Carpenter in Amsterdam, Taylor Swift in Lyon, Springsteen in Edinburgh, Noah Khan at Fenway Park. Earlier this year I was able to visit Katmai National Park and see the brown bears in the falls. I have a D&D group and a really amazing village of people I love. I would not be in this headspace if I didn't go to therapy and work out the why of me settling for this man in the first place. True story, when planning our honeymoon in New Zealand, I, of course, had to plan the entire thing despite him picking the location. He refused to do any driving, so we had to do a guided tour that left on specific dates. He pretended to not be able to get a day off of work when we needed to leave until I started crying and begging him to just ask his boss for it because literally no other flights worked. That's when he said he actually always had the day off but wanted to make sure I was actually working hard enough to choose good flights. Anyway, I chose to marry that, and it was a lot to unpack in therapy. But I'm glad I did, because without it, I don't think I'd have built this life for myself. At the end of the day, what happened set me up to live a happier life than what I was living, so in some ways, I'm thankful for the experience, shitty as it was. If you're in the middle of something terrible, unfair, and world-shattering to you, just know that it's not forever. While this experience has made me a bit of a believer in karma, I also know that there was a lot of work to get myself out of that big black mental hole. Sometimes it seemed that I would slide back in it, but by looking forward and figuring myself out, I eventually clawed my way out. I think you can too, and that you're worth fighting for. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, just read your other posts. JFC, what a tool he was. If you don't mind, what did you figure out was the reason you put up with him? What did your therapist say? Ops response, a lot of it was I equated success with going through the steps of life. Getting married was just the next step, and I didn't think I could find something else. So I settled. Therapy also helped me realize the reason I kept wanting to put off having kids later and later, it's because I actually didn't want them. It's just what I thought I should do. The things he did became so normal that I just kinda started to accept them. I took on all the emotional labor. I drove 2 hours a day for my job, as the breadwinner, because he didn't want to commute or leave the town he grew up in. I made sure we saw his family for things when I found out that he would use me as an excuse to get out of stuff. Looking back, it's so obvious, but when you're in that situation, you kinda lose yourself in it. Commenter 2, good for you. Sounds like he has regrets. Ops response, I do think he regrets how he did it, but this was the girl I was always told not to worry about, and he had feelings for her for a while. I'm sure he's probably happy, but I think he's the type of person who's also content with a mediocre life.